All right, we are live. Hey, everybody, Dave Calafiore along with Drew Griffin, and welcome to this week's live Build a Bot session. Hope everyone's doing well. How you doing, Drew?
I'm excited, man. My voice is a little bit raspy from all the calls and trainings that we've been doing with
Poor
all the
thing.
things, right? So I'm good, man. I'm excited about today. This is something that I have a lot of fun with. I
Yep.
think others can have some fun with this as well. And we've got a surprise
Yeah.
for everybody today, and hopefully everybody enjoys today's session.
Hey, welcome to all of you, Paul, Art, Patricia, Olive, Thomas, Glory. Before we get started, we always record these, and it's just funny because, like, as people who do a lot of like live trainings and stuff, it's a constant question that we get nonstop. Is it recorded? Are you recording it? Where's it going to be? How am I going to know? Blah, 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 blah. And it's just, we just laugh at that question because it's just a common question that we just always get. But yeah, we're recording in Glory. When we get off this broadcast, if you just refresh the exact page that you're on, the replay will just be right there. It'll also be in our Facebook group. So yeah, and Kim will email about it. So no worries.
We're not picking on you, Glory. It's just,
No, it's just funny. Like, we just have fun with it. It's just a constant thing that's been going on for years.
Yeah. You know what? I think this is going to precipitate. What's going to happen in our next Build a Bot is like everybody's going to ask that question. It's the first thing that they're going to say is like, "Is this
Don't do that to
us?" It's all good. But hey, everybody, good to see everybody here. Thanks for coming out. But that the fact that we record it does not give you an excuse not to show up live, because you get a lot when you ask questions, right? And we want you to ask questions throughout this session. Today is designed not to be super long, but we're going to walk you through something very practical. And I'm going to call all of you out today. All right, just know it. I'm calling you all out today. As marketers, as online marketers, as people that want more for their business. If you want to sell more stuff, I'm calling you out today. All right. Well, let's have
Here
fun.
we go. Here's my friend Bob Lell. I knew he might be here, and he's always one to interject.
Yeah. I desperately want to go and hang out with Bob and have a beer and just yeah, man, that's awesome. Good to see you, Bob. All right, man, let's dig into this. So we'll be very respectful of everyone's time. Lots to cover today, and yes, you're going to be getting access to some resources. We'll create a template for you if you guys want to use this. Obviously, we're going to be giving you a prompt that you can use and modify. You're going to have to modify it, right? This is going to be a personal bot for you. This is for you, right? And if you can do this for you, here's a little hint. You can do this for other people, because what happens inevitably when I'm out there showing people this stuff, they want it. They just want it, right? We're going to show you exactly how to demonstrate this out there in the wild. So without further ado, let's kind of cover what we're going to talk about today. Obviously, we're going to welcome everybody here as we're doing so right now and explain what we've got for you today. We're going to explain what it's going to do for you. We're going to do a walkthrough of the bot itself. We're going to be working with Claude and just showing you how we built this out step by step, right? It's already been built out. I'm just going to walk you through everything that we talked about inside of Claude. And then obviously we'll be giving you access to those templates, or at least we'll work with Kim to get you the templates and the prompts and the copies, all that kind of stuff, so you can use them directly inside of your bots. And then here's what to do next. And this is probably the most important part about all this. Like, once you learn this and you have this together, like actually doing the thing that's going to put the money in your pocket. If you guys are here and you want to make some money with this type of bot, it's a super, super easy, simple bot. And we'll talk about all the things that are out there that they're proof that this takes what everybody else is doing to the next level. All right. So part one, welcome to this Build a Bot session. And here's what we've got for you today. We're going to be creating a tool, an AI assistant for you to use. Right. And as I mentioned, if you can build this bot for yourself, you can duplicate it and create it for everybody else that's out there. Now, I want you to think about that for just a second. The abundance of opportunity. Don't poo-poo this, right? You'll think about this in a second when I show you the image in the next couple of slides. you're going to probably think to yourself, this is kind of boring, whatever. But the fact of the matter is people spend a bloody fortune on these things that are out there, right? We're going to be building out a marketing mechanism that's fun and absolutely different. We're going to give you a walkthrough of how to build out an AI assistant that informs, educates, entertains others, creates absolute engagement, irrefutable engagement that also demos and sells exactly what you're going to be showing everybody, right? In about 15 seconds. Like, who's ever been on a 15-second demo before? Give me number one. Give me number one, like a 15-second demo that you either get or you don't get, right?
And I think too, like, this is
Give me
also
number one.
meant to obviously help you, create something that's interesting, like Drew was just explaining, but also expand your mind a little bit with the possibilities of things that you can create. Like, you're not totally tied into, widgets on websites that answer FAQs. Those are great because it's an easy sell in terms of ways to actually monetize. But you can build some really interesting, useful tools with AskSpot also. So just kind of as he's kind of laying this out and showing you how you built it, think about some other applications that you might be able to use something like this for.
Yeah, I think this is really designed to help you start to think outside the box a little bit and have some fun with this. Right. And we're going to reveal an out of the box way to actually demonstrate and market you, your agency, and your AI. So if you guys are cool with that, what we're talking about is an interactive business card, right? Just think about everybody that's out there that has a business card, right? They're kind of boring, right? Business cards, they're out there. And by their very nature, they're awesome, right? Like, you should be collecting as many business cards as you possibly can. I've got a table full of business cards and boxes of business cards. If you think about the business card in of itself, we're all marketers, right? A business card really is permission for you to call them. Now we're kind of transitioning into the sales aspect of things. Like, when you get business cards, do you actually follow up with these individuals? Most people don't. And that's an opportunity for us to sell more of that kind of stuff. It's a little bit meta, but in reality here, what we're going to be building out is something interactive that just impresses and is different enough that's going to allow you to stand out compared to the competition that doesn't have what you have your hands on. All right. So part two, here's what it's going to do for you. Let's break this down real quick. We're going to be building out an AI assistant that helps you generate leads in a very interesting way, right? Obviously, in the past build a bot sessions, we showed you how to build out a bot with forms and without forms. Well, I mean, lead generation with the forms and without the forms. Like, you can actually train your bot to ask sequential questions that just doesn't feel like an opt-in, right? They're just like you're having a conversation with people. And the cool thing about it is, if you're like me and you forget the name, like, I actually need a bot, like a Shazam bot, just to remember people's names. Like, I know you, I remember you, but I forget your name. Like, you tell me your name and boom, it's gone, right? Maybe it's just my age. Maybe it's because I'm a male. I don't know. It's just like, there's that information and suddenly it's gone. With your AI assistant, it remembers this stuff, right? You can ask the name, you can ask an email address, you can ask a telephone number, you can ask their blood type. It'll remember all that kind of stuff, right? If the other person provides that information. And that's pretty cool, right? Because then the recall is you just go back into your chat logs and you have the ability to, have that information right there. And what you choose to do with it thereafter is entirely up to you. There's lots of things that you can do with it, right? An AI assistant, they'll intrigue those that you meet out there. Now, the key word is meet. Like, you have to get out there. I've been talking to some folks recently that, finally, I don't really particularly like going to meetups. I don't particularly like going to networking events and business card exchanges and conferences, but I do it, right? Like, I'm typically the wallflower, the person that's like in the corner of the room holding up the wall, observing everybody, and I had to get out of my comfort zone. So we're kind of talking about marketing. We're talking about technology here. Now you've got an excuse to go and show them the cool stuff that you've got going on, right? This is totally going to intrigue people. as they start to engage with your technology. The AI assistant that informs, educates, entertains others, and creates engagement by the very nature of them clicking start or scanning a QR code, right? Your chatbot pops up and it starts to walk them through that process. Pretty interesting, right? You can do trivia bots, you can do all kinds of interesting things. And an AI assistant that actually demos themselves. Give me number 2 in chat if you agree that by the very nature of someone scanning or clicking on something and suddenly your chatbot deploys, it's like demonstration, right? It's literally a demonstration that happens in real time and people get it. They just, oh, this is what this is. This is what this does. Let me continue. And your goal is to make the chatbot intriguing enough, right? Tell a joke, right? Show some pictures of Bob and his beers, right? Or whatever. Just have some fun with, be self-deprecating. I don't know, have some fun with this. And then by the very nature of the bot, it's most people that you're either going to know that they're interested or they're not. Most people are going to say, "Oh, this is really cool. Where did you get this?" That is an opening for you to say, "Oh, well, I created this. Would you like one?" Like, why do we default to like, I don't know, let's skirt around the topic. Oh, well, this is kind of what my software company does. This is what we do. Would you like me to create one for you? How much is it? And then you transition into what you're going to charge for this bot. Well, it depends on the complexity and so on and so forth. Just go for it. Be prepared. Be ready to go. So here's what we're talking about, right? How to build out an interactive business card, AI assistant for networking events. And by networking events, we'll talk about all the different areas where you probably go, right? It means anywhere that you go that are going to be people. Like this weekend, I'm going down to the Jersey Shore for a crabbing trip. I'm going to be shooting some video drone. It's my brother's 9th annual crabbing trip, and there's going to be hundreds of people at his house.
Right? Why didn't I know about this? Yeah, I'm not invited.
Well, Pittsburgh people. You are all invited. You guys want to come down?
I love blue crab. Come on, man.
Yeah. I wasn't sure that I was going, but so that's Saturday, and there's going to be lots of people there, right? And there's all kinds of businesses. Interesting stuff that I can talk about a little bit later is I'll fill you in on this information a little bit later. So let's dig into this, right? Let's break out and kind of show you what we're doing here. Maybe I'll just show you. Yeah, we'll go into Claude first, and then we'll show you the bot itself. Now, I didn't design the bot and all this other kind of stuff just yet, but I'm going to show you what it does and essentially, what we're going to get into here. So let me know when you see my screen, David.
Awesome. Yeah. And hey, as Drew's going along, I'll keep an eye on the chat. If you have a question you want to have answered rather than just, a statement that you're making, put a QQQ in front of it. And then that will kind of cue me that we have to have your question answered. Helps us keep track. All right. Your screen's up, man. You're good.
Is this big enough here? I know that's kind of a crazy question.
No, I think it's good. Why don't we go? We'll go full screen to make it a little easier for everybody.
Sounds good. I can zoom in a little bit more too, if that makes sense.
No, you're good. We can see it.
Good. Okay. So here's my thought process, right? If you go into Claude and you just literally have a conversation with it, it starts to lead you into other directions of, how you want your bot to go. So essentially I said, look, hey, Claude, I'd like for you, I actually have conversations with Claude as if they're an actual person, right? I'd like for you to act as an expert custom AI chatbot and custom AI assistant builder. I like to create a custom AI chatbot / assistant that helps me network at networking events in a clever way. My thought here is to be able to deploy a custom AI chatbot when someone scans a QR code that I might have on my t-shirt or a business card for that matter. I own a software company. It's called AskSpot.ai. You don't necessarily need to say that you own AskSpot. You can just say, hey, I use a software that helps me create custom AI chatbots, right? Helps me.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Really quick. Would you mind just copying that prompt and throwing it into the chat so there's a few folks who want to follow along with us.
Sure.
And then we'll add that into a document later under the replay. But There we go. In that way. There you go, everybody. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Back at it.
All right. And it replies back to me. Essentially, it's saying that's an innovative idea for leveraging AI to enhance networking experiences. Creating custom AI chatbots accessible by way of QR code will certainly make you stand out at events. Here are some ideas to make your networking chatbot engaging and showcasing its capabilities, right? So I just went with the first one, right? Interactive business card. The chatbot could act as an interactive dynamic version of your business card. It could provide your professional background, current role, areas of expertise, recent projects and achievements, contact information. So these are really good ideas. I think I'm going to think about this a bit. I'll let you know when I'm ready, et cetera, et cetera. And then it kind of replies back to me about creating a custom GPT based on any of these suggestions, et cetera, et cetera. So I went back and said, I like number one, interactive business card. The chatbot could act as an interactive dynamic version and basically just repeated back to Claude, what their suggestion was. Great choice. It comes back and tells me, first, let's outline the key components of the GPT, the purpose, the tone, the key functionalities, et cetera, et cetera. Now let's create the GPT. You are an AI assistant designed to act as an interactive business card for your name, like Drew Griffin. Well, it could be for Bob Lell, could be for anybody, right? Your primary function is to provide professional information about Drew Griffin to people who interact with you at networking events. You should be friendly and professional in your interactions. And then here's the key information to provide: professional background, current role, company information, areas of expertise, recent projects, achievements, contact information, et cetera, et cetera. Now, when interacting with users, introduce yourself as an AI assistant representing Drew Griffin, right? It's like C3PO, my personal droid, right? My personal protocol droid for all of you Star Wars nerds out there. Offer to provide any and all of the above information. Be prepared to answer questions about Drew's professional life and AskSpot.ai, which is, I'm just telling them what my company is. You wouldn't say AskSpot because then you'd be promoting us. You would say my chatbot company, right? Whatever. Be prepared to answer those questions. If asked about personal matters beyond professional scope, politely redirect to professional topics, unless, of course, you give them that prompt to include that. Hey, I like, to play soccer, long walks on the beach, and crabbing adventures without David Calafiore. You get the idea, right? And give them the idea of encouraging them to connect with you on the platforms that you so choose. Do you want people to connect with you on Facebook? Do you want them to connect by way of email? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Instagram? Is it OnlyFans? You guys know who you are. I'm looking at you, Bob Lell. Remember, your main goal is to leave a positive, memorable impression, et cetera, et cetera. To make this GPT more effective, we should also consider conversation starters, frequently asked questions, customization, exit strategy. You can then go back and correct or improve your GPT if you want, right? It's entirely up to you. Like, I'm just kind of showing you this as an example. I like these ideas to make the GPT more effective. For now, let's get the information that you need. Perhaps the best way for you to get this information is for you to interview me, right? So what this is going to do, if you just ask Claude to interview you using those questions that they just proposed, it's going to create a document, like a source document for you, right? So just like pretend this is a podcast and just have the GPT or have Claude interview you on those questions. And you can even give them questions that you might want other people to know about you when eventually they scan your QR code or you show them the demonstration about your interactive business card. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me know. I'm going to take a quick sip here. Cool. So the next thing is, it just kind of goes through the interview process. Certainly, I'd be happy to interview to gather the information of your interactive business card GPT. Let's start with the basics. What is your full name and your job title? And I just answer it. Hey, I'm Drew Griffin, and I'm the co-founder and developer at AskSpot.ai. Right? Thank you, Drew. That's a great start. Let's continue with the next question. Can you provide a brief description of AskSpot.ai and its main purpose and function? Obviously, you can augment this and say, hey, we build custom AI chatbots to help people generate more leads, whatever it is that you want to lead with, right? We build out custom AI chatbots that provide SOPs and generate leads and help sell stuff, right? Whatever that might be. So I'm more or less answered their question. AskSpot is an AI chatbot development platform initially tailored for marketing, digital, and web development agencies. It allows agencies to create, customize, and resell AI chatbots to their clients, but it also helps almost anyone explore, build custom AI assistants, practical and pragmatic chatbots that are literally copy and paste easy to create, right? Just being very matter of factish and down to earth in my reply. For instance, creating a custom interactive business card AI assistant, or perhaps a customer service AI assistant that answers frequently asked questions, or even complex functions like podcast RSS bots, trivia games, real estate agent assistants, and so much more. I'm just giving a couple of different examples to get the conversation going. Claude replies back to me. Thank you for this comprehensive description, Drew. It's clear that the AskSpot.ai is a versatile and powerful platform, et cetera, et cetera. Can you provide me a summary of your professional background leading up to your role as a co-founder of AskSpot.ai? And I give them a little bit of my information, right? Hey, I'm a former wound care nurse specialist of 28 years, turned app and SaaS developer, content creator, and online course creator. As the co-founder, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want to bore everybody with what my background is. Thank you for sharing that, Drew. Your diverse background is quite interesting and valuable. Thank you, Claude. Let's continue. What would you say your areas of expertise are? Please list 3 to 5. So I go through and I give them 3 to 5 of my best attributes, although, I am not an Instagram model. Thank you, Drew. Those are excellent points to highlight. They really showcase the value and accessibility of the technology that you're working with. Let's move on to your recent accomplishments. And I go through some of the accomplishments there. Thank you for sharing those achievements. What professional contact information would you like to include for people who want to connect with you after interacting with your AI business card? This could include your professional email address, LinkedIn profile, or any other preferred method of professional contact. I literally list them here. Here's how you reach me on Facebook. Here's how you reach me on LinkedIn. Here's how you reach me on email. In basically an open invitation. I want people to come into our school community so they can learn more about all the cool stuff, the trainings, the software, and the cool stuff that you guys are doing, et cetera. So here's the link to our school community, and directly by way of mobile, right? It's a little bit different, right? It's a different way of doing a link tree, right? You're just having an interactive moment here that goes super fast. Thank you for providing that information. Based on this, here's the GPT. And it literally gives me the GPT. Guys, you can copy this, right? I'm going to come back and put this in to chat, right? This is the GPT. Naturally, but I don't have all the, it doesn't give me enough characters. So we will give you a copy of this, guys. This entire GPT here, right? So basically, I'll walk you through it, right? You're an AI assistant designed to act as an interactive business card for Drew Griffin. Here's the key information to provide: the professional background, the current role, company information, areas of expertise, recent achievements, contact information. Does everybody know how the GPT got this information? They put this information together based upon the interview that Claude did with me, right? Gather all this information and put it into the succinct GPT that we're going to give back into AskSpot in a little bit. And then I gave it some other prompts. When interacting with others, here's how I want you to do. Introduce yourself as an AI assistant representing Drew Griffin. It's not me, it's the AI. Offer to provide any any of the above information, which is all this stuff up here. Be prepared to answer questions about Drew's professional life and AskSpot. Emphasize the simplicity, affordability, and practicality of the technology. Highlight how AI can be used for various applications, including interactive business cards, which is what we're demonstrating. If asked about personal matters beyond professional scope, politely redirect to the professional topics. Encourage users to connect with Drew on LinkedIn or by way of email for further discussion. Here are the key points of emphasis. The emerging AI technology is simple to demonstrate. AI-powered interactive business cards can be immersive. The technology is affordable and cost-effective. AI solutions can be copy and paste easy. I mean, literally, here's the button here. Copy and paste it into AskSpot, right? Is that not copy and paste easy? It's literally right there. It says copy. I hit that copy button and I paste it into AskSpot and it's ready to go. Remember, your main goal is to leave a positive, memorable impression and facilitate professional connections. So I was talking with David and I said, you know what, David, it's missing something. Like, you know, like the whole objective here is not only to demonstrate it, but I also want to gather information from the people that I'm connecting with, the people that are actually going through this, right? It doesn't do me any good just to demonstrate it unless they say, well, here's my business card, get in touch with me. I want to capture all that stuff on the inside. So based upon this information, can you please create a source document, right? So I'm starting off with this information and boom, it creates a source document that I feed right back into AskSpot. So we'll give you a copy of this and more or less a version for you to reverse engineer this and create, you know, for yourself. Here are some things you can add to it. You can take away from it, things that you want to include, things that you want to take away from it. This is just a template for you to consider. So I'll give you this, right?
Yep. So cool, man. Like for me, I think like a really great use case for this above and beyond like the networking stuff that you mentioned is like your email signature.
Yep.
Pretty damn cool to just click on like a link in someone's email signature and be able to like go deep and learn about who they are and what they're up to and what their history is and what their expertise is. I think that's pretty damn cool. One thing that we might want to consider doing, Drew, is just recording a quick Loom video for the initial message when somebody opens up that direct to chatbot link. So you kind of have that little mix of real human being with the ability to to communicate and engage with the AI.
Yeah, entirely plausible, and you should do it. I'm a little bit lazy and not feeling
Let's do
really
it live,
cute
man.
today.
Let's just load up Loom,
Okay.
record one. We'll grab the link and we'll show everybody how they can do that too.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be
Sounds good.
perfect. Les, that's a good question. I would maybe just put something like learn more about me or learn more about Drew. That could just kind of lead somebody to click there and see what's going on to investigate, which can be pretty neat.
Let's try this one.
You can just click to record. Oh, there you go.
Hey, it's Drew. Thank you so much for clicking on my my Build-A-Bot session here. We'll go ahead and re-record that because that's not what I wanted to say. You guys get the idea. See, even I screw up on this kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and record this. Hey, it's Drew Griffin here. I just wanted to welcome you to my AI chatbot assistant. here's what's going to happen, right? Below here is going to be a bunch of text that pops up on the screen. And what I want you to do is just have a natural conversation with my AI assistant. There's nothing complex about this. Just have a natural conversation with it and let it guide you through the entire process. Essentially, I'd just like to introduce you to my software and who I am. And I'd love to find out more about you as well. So go through this and at some point, I'd love to gather your information. I've got a really cool free gift that I'd love to give to you. It's access to one of our best-selling courses ever. Totally going to give it to you for free. So all I need is your name and your information, and we're going to go ahead and give you access to what's called Local Media Hero. It's a great little resource. You'll be able to learn about cool stuff with that. So go ahead and just interact below. We'll talk to you in a little bit. So that's going to
Bob Lell's requested that you take off your hat.
No.
Thank you, Bob. Now you just got to grab that link and we can add that right in AskSpot. We'll show everybody how you can do that. There you go.
We'll grab this link and then we'll come into AskSpot. And then we go into general, right? No.
Yeah.
AI config.
No, general.
General, that's right.
There
and then right here, put the URL.
You might just need to, there you go. Just space up a little bit. There you go. There you go.
Hit save changes. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll open this up into a full screen. There's the video.
Love it. So yeah, I like that. It just, lets you say, hey, thanks for clicking on the link. This is what you're looking at here. This is how you can interact with it. It's a great way to kind of demo the service that you offer.
So let's go through the bot a little bit. And there's some other prompts and other things that I made some adjustments to that we'll walk you through in just a moment. But as David mentioned, you've got this little welcome video. Naturally, I would probably record a full video, upload that with probably a better script or better message initially, with a full picture of my bald head for Bob Lell. And hey there, I'm Drew's AI-powered assistant, humanoid robot, and protocol droid designed to assist in etiquette and translation. I'm just having fun with it, right? Yep. I'm fluent in over 6 million forms of communication. Okay, I made that up, but my cousin C3PO is dope like that. In other words, I'm Drew's interactive business card. What can I get you information on?
Yeah.
Someone
said, Ramiro said, what about using an AI avatar of yourself on the video, which is really cool. Like those things have come a long way, but I really think there's an opportunity here to kind of put a video of your real self on there and explain what's happening. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but yeah, you definitely could create an AI avatar and create a video with it and add it there. But I think there's a nice opportunity to kind of add that little human touch and mix it with the artificial intelligence.
Yeah. And then you can do prompts with little buttons that, hey, get started and do all that kind of stuff. Like it takes literally 10, 15 seconds. And even if I screw it up with Loom, you just hold your iPhone or your Android out in front of your face. Hey, it's Drew. It's really nice to have met you here at this event. Like you don't need to mention what event it is and all that other kind of stuff. Hey, it's really, really nice to have met you. Thanks for scanning my thingy, right? Like have some fun with it. Thanks for scanning my t-shirt, my bald head, whatever it is. Have some fun, show a little bit of personality with it. And then now all of a sudden it's going to go through it. Drew Griffin, professional profile. Hey, I'm Drew. co-founder and developer at AskSpot.ai, professional background. Would you like to know a little bit more about Drew's role at AskSpot or the company itself? Tell me about AskSpot. And I purposefully made it a little bit slower so it doesn't just like spit things out, aggressively. AskSpot company overview gives them the key features, user-friendly, versatile applications. Of course, you can adjust the speed at which this comes out. Multimedia integration, real-time data capture, commitment to innovation, benefits for agencies. Would you like to know more specific areas of expertise Drew brings? Yes, please. Right. And if they say no, it's going to probably kind of transform and pivot and transition into like asking them about them. So it's like more into the lead capture aspect of things. Yes, please. Here's the area expertise. The last question is going to basically just give them all the information that I suggested: emerging technology, simplification of tech concepts. Now, the question to everybody is this demonstrating your software? It's also relaying information, and almost psychologically, they're not even paying attention to the technology. They're reading the concept and like somewhat interested, like kind of freaking business card do this. You have to insinuate the thing. Like I was talking to somebody yesterday and they do environmental stuff with recycling and a very specific type of recycling. I had no idea what it is. They just gave me the title, which then I had to go and research. And I'm like, all right, that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, like if I knew exactly what they did right at that given time, I could probably refer them to somebody else or know exactly how I might be able to use them in the first place. So now this custom AI assistant is literally explaining everything while demonstrating and entertaining, informing, and educating people. Would you like to know how do I get in touch with Drew?
One thing that could be interesting, like which is part of a lot of networking opportunities, is understanding like who is a good prospect or lead for you. It's a common question that you'll get at like a network, like a BNI meeting or like a local networking type situation. That could be like one of the quick access buttons that you add in, Drew. Like who's a good lead for Drew, or who's the perfect prospect for me. And then what you could do is actually direct when the AI answers that question, or you actually don't even have to use AI to answer that question. You can override the AI with an exact response. And then you can gather information. You can add a form which would allow somebody to submit like who they are and what a good lead for them is, a good prospect for them, somebody who's interacting or engaging with your business card.
Yeah, so here we go. Here's my LinkedIn profile, right? Just links directly out to my LinkedIn profile. There it is. There's that little handsome devil right there, right? And then it goes over to Facebook. My computer's a little bit slow, right? So there is my Facebook profile, right? Wow, I got 20 messages. And then school. Sometimes I've got this love-hate relationship with Facebook. And then boom, right into the school group. If you guys have school groups, here is an amazing way to invite people into your school community and be able to connect with them, right? Offer courses, all kinds of really cool stuff on the inside of stuff. Like here's my direct cell phone number. Please no spam calls at 1 o'clock in the morning. My wife is already asking me, oh, is that Jake from State Farm? Yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting notifications from people on Facebook, and it's definitely not Jake from State
And by the way,
Farm.
speaking of school, if you're not in our school community yet, the asset-based agency, you definitely should join. I'll put a link into the chat there. If you're not in there yet, we invite you to come.
So yeah, you can teach that, have that custom prompt, then kind of pivot into, like ending the conversation or getting into the next step, which might be, hey, let's capture their names and their email addresses, right? So kind of built this out. I didn't add this to this prompt right now, right? So I said, well, this is, I just need to help, creating a basic prompt. And this is the prompt that I'm going to give to you guys. So you can,
Yep.
put where anywhere that has a bracket, you can change and put your information in there.
And here's the thing to remember too, like the first, draft of this, when Claude writes that prompt, may not work totally the way that you want it to. All you have to do is kind of just go back and forth and kind of have a conversation with Claude and tell it, hey, listen, I just tried this prompt. It's doing this, this, and this, which I don't like. I would rather have it do this, this, and this. Can you please rewrite the prompt and adjust it? Then you just copy it, go back over to AskSpot, delete the prompt that you had in there before, and just add the new one and just test again, right? It might take a little bit of trial and error, playing around a little bit to kind of get it just the way that you want it. It's not always perfect the first time. In fact, it normally almost never is.
Yeah, I forget stuff. I'm like, oh, you know what? This sounds a little bit pretentious. Let's make some adjustments here and there, and then like at the end, I'm like, oh, I completely forgot. Just as David mentioned, like something cool that you could probably add is a video. All right, I didn't even think about that. Let's add a video in the beginning. He's right, right? So you go back and you take a look. It's almost like checking your work before you hand it in, right? So, but the cool thing is we're giving you kind of a, 90% of the template to get started with. So you're kind of cheating and copying our work. All cool. I'm totally about that these days. And then it basically says, okay, this is great. Can you add a few more things? I'd like for you to add a section, and the section is a discovery section that I would like the prompt and chat to say, enough about me, enough about Drew. I'd like to learn a little bit more about you. Like who would be a good, tell me a little bit more about yourself and your business, right? I like to also give a free gift if they give me this information. Essentially, I'm saying, hey, if you give me this, I'm going to give you access to this free
Yeah.
gift.
And you can lay that out, make that happen by explaining to Claude what Drew just explained. Like, hey, listen, this is the scenario I want to happen. I want to ask, after somebody has engaged with the bot and asked a few questions, I'd like you to engage with them and gather some information about who they are and what their business is and what a good lead is for them. And you can say, hey, listen, if they answer all the questions, I would like you to give them this specific link, Drew's OnlyFans. Give them this specific link for a free gift, right? Just explain it and Claude will write it. And if it's not perfect, if it's not working correctly, go back and adjust and, reiterate and try again.
Yeah, it's an AI assistant. Use Claude and use ChatGPT as your minion, as your assistant to get it better, to get it to improve it over time. And then once you have it dialed in, you've got something really solid that you can deploy for what we're going to talk about next. So, like literally what I'm trying to do is, really impress them with the bot and then in a subtle way capture their name and their information about that, right? So like let's say you go out to a networking event, right? And you meet 20 people out there and 20 people opt in. That's like 20 leads. Is it going to take you a long time to go through those chats and say, oh, there's a name, of course you can do webhooks and all that. We're not getting into all that kind of stuff. But if you're going like super ghetto, like Drew does, I don't even hook up webhooks and stuff like that. If you just wanted to be super ghetto and get results, you do this, and then you go back and it forces you to see exactly who you connected with and then think about how you can actually help them on the next step, right? So what's your full name? What's the name of your business, or what company are you with? Right? What's your email address? What's your phone number? And if they choose not to answer any of those questions, that's totally fine as well. You're just on to the next person. Does it matter? Who cares if
And
they
also
skip it?
also realize even if you don't like connect a form and collect that data in an official way where you're like collecting it and sending it off to like your CRM and stuff, all you have to do is just go back and take a look at the chat logs.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
do.
yeah, and just realize that you have access to all the conversations, all the information, all the engagements and conversations, and you can just extract the data from there. And in fact, I think people are more apt to like just have a conversation naturally and give that information rather than sometimes filling out what looks like an official form or
Yeah.
like, where they're giving their private information. You're probably better off just asking and then extracting that information out of the chat logs.
Yeah, so have fun with this. I mean, this isn't like, the absolute, script that you need to know. You copy this, right? We'll give you access to this copy and go in and edit it, right?
Yeah.
Like, enough about Drew, right? Instead of first name, enough about, that character. He would like to learn a little bit more about you as a token of appreciation for trying out this interactive business card AI assistant. Drew would like to offer you free access to his school community or free access to this awesome course. But first, could you provide a little bit more information about yourself? And then you just tell them, like the next line, the one line that I, probably would suggest is ask each one of the following questions one by one. So it's like in its own line, right? It's not just like bum, 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 and forcing, 5 or 6 questions for somebody to answer. Like have a natural, hey, what's your name? Oh, it's really nice to meet you, Dave. I hear that you like crabbing trips. Sorry, we didn't invite you to this one, right? You can
Yeah.
have some fun with this.
And those are
But
oftentimes the things that you need to adjust. Like
yeah,
you put the instructions in, like Drew does, just showing you there, like gathering that information. And sometimes you'll take that prompt and add it over and get to that point to where it's asking those questions. And maybe sometimes it just asks them all at one time. And as Drew mentioned, like that's not natural. Like it's kind of overwhelming to somebody who's having that conversation. So you may have to come back in and say, hey, listen, I just tried this prompt and it's asking those questions all at once. Please make sure that this GPT asks those questions one at a time, right? Stuff like that. Also, it's really important to play around with the different AI models because you'll get entirely different responses based upon what you're using. Some are smarter, some are dumber. We really recommend trying the Claude API if you haven't done so yet. There's instructions in the knowledge base on how to connect that. Really does a great job with like creativity and seeming a bit more human, I think, rather over the OpenAI API and their GPT models. So experiment a little bit and then, use the different models, ask it the same question and kind of see, okay, this model gave me this response with the same question as, this other model and see what you like better. It's a lot of it's personal preference. Um, a lot of it has to do with the complexity of the prompt and how well that particular model can handle those instructions. So
yeah.
not everything is like totally cut and dry. There's not an exact way to do this. You have to kind of experiment a little bit and play around and have some fun.
Yeah, it's a really important piece to, that might cut down on a lot of frustrations that people might be experiencing with AI in general. It's like, it's not perfect, it's not working. Work with it, right? Have some patience with it, right? What's coming down the road is going to be is absolutely going to blow your minds. But like this is pretty damn powerful. A lot of people can't like, let's have some fun with this. Like what if the first question was like, would you like to play a game? From war games and Matthew Broderick way back in the day. Like I would probably freak out. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Let's have some fun with this. And then all of a sudden it's asking for the nuclear launch codes. Um, Probably a little bit freaky to some people that are out there, but have some fun with it. People just have some fun. At the end, it says, it's basically going to thank them for sharing their details, briefly mention the free gift, assure them that, they'll be in touch soon. Don't be freaked out if people don't hand over their information. There's a lot of people that um, are concerned about privacy and totally cool with that. Right. And that's it. Like that's literally the shtick here, guys. I mean, you copy this, you paste it inside there, then you make some adjustments into your chatbot. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing the screen, come back in to the presentation here about like what's next, right? So let's add this back to the stage here. We kind of walked through the demonstration. And then here's what's next. We're going to try to keep this under an hour, but we'll get into any questions that you guys might have in a little bit. And I think this is probably the most important part. Like have some fun with your canvas. AskSpot is a canvas. It allows you to create some really cool stuff, even from a template, right? You can adjust these templates to make them your own and go out there and show a little bit more about your personalities. So my question to everybody here is, please indulge me for the next couple of minutes. you guys are marketers, right? Let me know in chat if you guys are marketers. Take a little sip here. And this is kind of the crescendo building up to this in a moment. And your homework, we're going to give you access to something pretty cool. Yep. You guys are marketers, right? Eva, Bob plays one on the internet, right? So the second question is, does advertising work? The majority of the time, right? Advertising has been around for a long time. Some of you dabble in Facebook ads. You know, a lot of you are posting about stuff that you're into on the socials, right? That's a form of advertising as well, right? Do you guys actually advertise? Are you using Facebook ads right now? Are you doing social media? Are you posting about things that you're going on in your business? Like for those of you, you know, that are doing stuff in the feed, right? For your Facebook page as well as your personal feed. Do you realize that the Facebook feed goes really fast? It might seem really slow to you, but people are posting all day, every day, throughout the day. And the things that seem to attract people are the things that people are commenting on and engaging with and using those emojis and all that kind of stuff. Like you could literally be posting post after post after post, and what appears in other people's feeds may not be appearing what's in your exact feed. So my suggestion is that you post more often about the things that you're doing, right? And be a little bit more practical about stuff. So here's a t-shirt that I created that I would recommend you guys try doing, right? Build out a t-shirt like this that has a QR code on it that deploys your AI bots. Everybody has seen this design. If you guys want this design, I'll make it readily available here in this group. I've posted about it before. I use merch by Amazon. I mean, this t-shirt cost me nothing to make and cost me, I think, $13.99 to have delivered to my house, like total, my cost, one t-shirt, right? And I wear it everywhere. I wear it all the time to networking events and stuff like that. Now, David makes fun
I'm
of
like,
me
sure,
sometimes.
sometimes you got to put a new t-shirt on, man. It's like, you've got, maybe you should buy a few more of them, you know?
I know.
I know.
You get the idea. You can put the name of your logo out there. You can use, hello, my name is Drew. You know, sometimes it makes me look, you know, not, you know, a little special, if you will. But I can't tell you how many times this QR code has been scanned. It's like thousands and thousands and thousands of times, right? And this particular QR code opens up, you know, our other software. It's called Lead Bubble, but you don't need to use Lead Bubble. You can use a QR code to open up your chatbot. You know, I've had discussions with other folks. Oh, should I open it up and have it lead to my website? Well, you could, but then people have to scroll around. It has to be mobile optimized and everything. Just open up the chatbot. If you want to sell more chatbots, have it open up your chatbot. Have it open up your software. Nobody cares about your website. They just don't. But if you show them the magic trick, it's pretty cool. The question then becomes, will you guys wear something like this? Would you guys advertise? Like if you're driving down the highway and you see a car that's wrapped, right? Like that captures your eye. Billboards, do they work? You know, it's branding, right? Do people do 9x12s? Do they send out like that's what I was asking about? Like, are you actually advertising? Are you branding yourselves? Are you walking out there and showing people? Are you going out and doing presentations? Right? When your QR code is up on the monitor that's behind you and you're on a stage, right? Or a projector that's projecting your presentation up there. Can you go out there and do a demonstration and teach people how to build out an interactive business card? Could you guys take this? Hey, you guys want an interactive business card? Yep, it's $20 a month. Right? You guys do networking? How cool is that? Like when we show this interactive business card and people scan it and my video pops up on 100 people's iPhones and Android devices in the room, they get it. They understand it. Could you do this with an interactive business card? Hey, I want to just share my information. Hey, for those of you who are in the room and you want access to my course that's worth $1,000 to you, just go ahead and scan that QR code up there. It's going to ask you a couple of different questions, ask you your name, and we will send you access to our course. Lead generation, right? Lead generation. Would you guys be willing to put a t-shirt on? If you guys want to know how to build out one of these t-shirts, you got to join our school community. David, are you cool with us giving access to that training to everybody? Show people how to build out one of these t-shirts.
Sure, we can do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let us guys.
You got to give me a little bit of time. It's not Drew is always surprising me with fun stuff here, but yeah, we could do that. What we'll do is we'll add a course module in our school community. So if you're not there and you want access to this, you need to join. And I'm going to put the link again in the chat. So if you're not in our school group, we have a course that actually leads you through this entire process, has a bunch of templates and some other stuff in there, which is really cool. I guess Drew says we can have access. I'll take care of it.
Yeah. Cool. If you guys want to, you don't have to. I mean, we're not forcing anybody. If you guys want access to it, let us know in chat. Comment that you want access to it. Better yet, just join the school community, and we'll make an announcement when it's ready, because we have to kind of pull it out from one of our other members' area and put it into school. But if you guys want to learn how to do, like, build out one of these t-shirts, a QR code is a QR code. You can use it from Canva if you wanted to. You can build out the template right there in Canva if you want to. You can use a QR code from Canva. You can use a QR code from any of the QR code builders that are out there. And obviously, for those of you who are in AskSpot, users of AskSpot, you know that you've got a direct to bot link. Well, you just forward the QR code to that direct to bot link. You guys, does everybody understand that? Like, boom, now all of a sudden you're wearing this around like a billboard. And let's kind of talk about this, right? Here's some ways to get your interactive business card AI assistant out there, right? It means getting out from behind your computers and wearing a freaking t-shirt. Can you guys market that? Can you guys advertise yourselves? Can you go to meetups, right? You don't need to present. Just show up with your freaking t-shirt on there. Go to networking meetings, go to chamber meetings, go to coffee shops. Anybody here drink coffee? Anybody here drink beer? Bob, I'm talking to you, buddy. Do you ever go to a pub? You can wear a t-shirt. Like, one of my t-shirts has a big ass QR code on the back. Makes me look really special. Go to sporting events, right? There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people that go to professional. Anybody ever go to a baseball game, to a football game, to a soccer game? Right? Inevitably, someone's going to scan that QR code. And then all of a sudden, your chat, you can have fun with this. You can totally hack an audience of thousands of people that are in there. And they're just sometimes out of curiosity, what the hell is that QR code?
Convention or, like a big expo or meeting, like as Drew has on the slides. That's perfect for that, especially when the room is filled with people who you want to connect with. Sporting events, cool, right? You never know who's going to scan it. Maybe somebody who takes interest. But when you're at a networking event or an expo or a convention that's filled with like-minded people that you want to do business with, people that you want to meet, people that you want to talk to, this is an amazing opportunity.
Concerts, school events, going out to eat, people will. Do you ever do people watching? You ever go to malls? Like, is that even a thing anymore? You go to movies, you go to these different places, and people are just curious. They'll scan your t-shirt, go to pubs and bars, shoot video reviews as you're out there in the front and making we just did a course recently on how to, get more attention for yourself and local businesses by going out and shooting video reviews, right? The 1 bite blueprint. Wear your freaking t-shirt. Wear your t-shirt. And then people are going, they'll walk up to you. What is it? And that one video example that I showed, I think it has well over 3,000 or 4,000 people that have watched that video. Wear your t-shirt in the video.
Suggest a local business for me to do my next review on.
Oh, what a great idea. Yeah. Just scan my QR code and suggest the video or suggest the place. Who's got the best pizza in Pottstown? Scan my QR code and let us know. Right? Social. Opinion method. Could you guys create an interactive business card and ask people their opinion on it? hey, I made this for you method. Hey, you know somebody that's really struggling to get the word out about their business. Hey, I made this for you. Right? You can take this template and hit copy, and then take their information that you know about them and put it into the bot. Right? Hey, I made this for you. All you need to do is wear a t-shirt. It's $14. Right? Expos, retractable banners, and QR codes. A little bit more information about us and our business. Big ass, retractable banner with AskSpot on it and a QR code. Facebook banners, email signatures. We've kind of talked about this before. Could you guys more or less take the information that we just talked about in this presentation and make one and show people the walkthrough? You guys want one? Reach out to us. We'll create one for you. Webinars, demos, beta campaigns for testimonials. Can you find 5 friends, 5 local businesses that might benefit from this? Do you know? So here's the question. Here's a question. Does anybody here, I probably should have asked this before, does anybody here know of anybody that has or needs a business card? That should prompt you to start thinking about it. Do you know of anybody? If you just go into your Rolodex, if anybody that has a business card, reach out to them and say, hey, I got your business card and made something better. Would you like this? It's $10 a month. It's $120 a year, whatever, right? Help to buy a bot campaign, right? Create a magnet or a sticker and have them prompt it, have them say, hey, somebody made a really cool interactive business card for me. Pretty cool. So for those of you who are already in AskSpot, awesome. Thank you so much. For those of you who are not in AskSpot and want to learn a little bit more about the platform, we invite you to head over to AskSpot.ai /private to gain access to the platform itself that helps you do this. We've got all kinds of templates on the inside of it. We'll be adding this one into the area. I'm going to work with Kim to build out a custom interactive business card AI assistant template for you. You would just need to obviously work with the prompt itself to put your information inside there, and then you can just duplicate it and make this for other people. My question to you is, what would you charge somebody? Here's another question for you. What would you charge somebody for something like this? One that helps others generate leads, demonstrates the cool stuff that is about their business in a little bit of a different way. Could you sell them a package with a t-shirt and a business card and other marketing collateral? What would you do for a team of real estate agents that could do this? Do you think inside the chatbot you could link out to upcoming, open houses?
Yeah, man. Current listing this week, this upcoming weekend's open houses. Maybe a form that could pop to get a free home valuation. Tips for getting your home ready to sell. All sorts of stuff. I mean, that's a great, for real estate agents, that's pure gold.
Yeah. So we'll leave it at that. David, I haven't been paying attention to
Yeah,
chat. If there's any
there's a couple of
questions.
questions I starred here, and there's just a handful. So, Cameron says Claude versus OpenAI. As I think I kind of mentioned this, we both work fine. They're both great. I think OpenAI's GPT-4 or GPT-4o is incredibly amazing. We just happen to really like Claude right now. For some reason, when you're building bots like this and using their API, it just seems to be a little bit more creative, a little bit more human-like. And this stuff is always changing, right? So just because I'm saying this doesn't mean it's the end all be all, or you should just use Claude, or you should just use OpenAI. I think every bot that you build is a little bit different. The prompt is a little bit different, and the different models just handle the complexities and the different prompts in different ways. So it's really a good idea to just be testing, right? When you build a bot, test it using Claude, test it using OpenAI and a few of their different models, right? Experiment. Stuff is constantly changing and evolving. The way that people are writing the prompts is different. You just have to experiment and play around a little bit. But with that being said, we really do like, for the most part, Claude seems to be a little bit more creative and a bit more human sounding. Just our opinion, though, Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Mike said it. Statement from Mike. I just got a follow up from a demo I sent out yesterday. Oh my God, this is amazing. What does it cost, and how do we get it? Yeah, Mike, do more of that. Right? Connect with more business owners. Say, hey, would it be cool if I sent you a link to something I built for you? I made something for you. Can I get your opinion on something I made for you? Would it be cool if I just sent you a quick link to check it out? The more you do of that, the more momentum you're going to gain, and the more the more sales and the more sales conversations that you will have that will turn into monthly recurring revenue for your agency. It's just the bottom line. And that's a great tip for everybody here. Like, we're talking in this build a bot a lot about tech and how to use the platform and how to build the bots. But at some point, you got to kind of put that stuff aside. And if you want to make money from this, like if you want top line revenue, monthly recurring revenue, you've got to take this stuff that we're talking about today and kind of do it in your spare time. Your days should be based around having sales conversations, not fooling around with technology. This is kind of why we did this today. Like, this is an opportunity for you to mix the technology with the prospecting, right? So these AI, powered business cards don't do a damn thing for you unless you get people interacting with them. Yeah, they're cool to put together, and you can probably get high on like figuring it out and making it work the way that you want. But what use is that unless it's benefiting you and your agency? And the only way to get it to benefit you and your agency is to get out and have conversations with people who can benefit from the technology.
Yeah, and give them an excuse. I mean, like everybody has one of these things, right? They've got an iPhone, they've got an Android device most of the time, right? That's once you have them scan it and you're on their iPhone or their Android device, there's just something powerful about that, right? Pretty amazing that you can do something that leaves an impression. And when you dial it in and make it interactive and fun and engaging and stuff like that, the more that you do, right? We're just giving you a template, a starting point that, bring your imagination, your creativity into it. I think it's going to leave a pretty amazing impression.
So I love the idea, but I hate button ups. I think you're referring to getting dressed up to go to a networking situation. Is that, I don't know, maybe I'm missing the
Yeah, I think so. I think that's
joke
what they
there.
meant.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, you know what? Get over it. Or just dress nicely for whatever is nice for you. Just look presentable. I mean, you don't have to wear a button up shirt, but Drew just
you're,
wears a t-shirt, right? The key
I'm
is just
super Joe.
getting out there. Listen, you can't sell stuff unless you talk to people. Anybody who's telling you otherwise is for the most part lying to you. You have to open your mouth. You have to have conversations. You have to demonstrate how you can help. There's no other way
Somebody
around it.
asked, um,
I starred a few of those too, Drew, up in the chat there, so you can see those.
somebody was asking about, okay, you can
Homer,
answer that one.
yeah, webhooks. Yeah, you can use webhooks. There is a article in the knowledge base. You can use webhooks to export the information collected via our forms, the opt-in forms, and also the in-chat forms. So anytime somebody fills out one of those forms, you can take the data collected via those forms and send them through webhooks to, an automation platform like Zapier or Make or Pabbly, and then on to another platform like a CRM or an email marketing platform or a Google Sheet, wherever you need to. But yeah, that ability is there, and there's documentation inside the knowledge base.
This is from Dre. Which print on demand company do you use to print QR codes on your t-shirts back and front? So let me show you.
Cool.
Amazon. There's a program. I don't know that it's currently open. They open it up several times throughout the year. It's called Merch by Amazon. And you get to set your own price. And I think the bottom price is like $12.99 or $13.99. And I kind of do this to help out whoever's printing it. So essentially, Amazon has contracted with print on demand companies that are, all throughout the world, and they're super fast. Like, I made this design, and it comes in different colors. You got black, you got orange, you got blue, green, right? You get to choose the different styles that are out there. They've got all kinds of stuff: hoodies, zip ups, they've got t-shirts, they got v-necks, they got all that kind of stuff. And you get to choose the countries and all kinds of stuff. Now, for something like this, I don't really need it to be worldwide. Like, there's probably not a lot of people out there that are really interested in this particular design. And the cool thing about it is you can make it public or you can make it private, and you can even get a sample for kind of a at a cheaper price. So I'd like to give them kind of a tip. So, like, all right, if I order this, they're going to make a little bit of money off of this, right? The print on demand company. And obviously they're buying in bulk. I don't need to explain the entire platform, but I literally printed this, got this up. It usually takes somewhere under 24 hours to get your design approved by Amazon.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you order it, it's just a couple of days. Now, my t-shirt, for some reason, I get these like the next day. They're really, really fast. And I'm
Probably just
pretty
some
sure
local company near you who's part of their program and just it's like
yeah.
quick. Yeah.
And they're great. They're great samples, and the quality of the t-shirts are great and whatever. They're super durable. But there's others that are out there. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen so
Yeah.
you can
I mean, you can
apply.
even I think Canva, you can just have a t-shirt printed directly. You can create the design in Canva and
It's exactly what I was going to say. Is Canva. I've printed some things off from Canva, and they're fantastic.
yeah.
Maybe a
I mean,
little bit
you're
more
talking about
pricey.
buying a couple shirts for yourself. So it's like
Yeah,
just do whatever's easiest, really. I mean, they're all going to be basically about the same price, give or take a couple bucks here and there.
yeah,
There's tons of these print on demand companies. Or just pick your poison, there's tons of them.
yeah. So that's what I use. It's like super, in my opinion, super cheap, and for one-offs, like some of these companies, they want you to buy 50 t-shirts. Um, you know, if you're looking for one-offs and you're just looking to test this out and wear the same t-shirt to all of your different events, then find one that allows you to print one up for $20 or whatever.
Yeah. I think the key is to use a pretty basic looking QR code. You don't want to
Yep.
have it be too fancy because sometimes in the printing process, it's got to work, right? You don't want to have a QR code that doesn't scan properly. So just a basic run of the mill, make sure you're using a high resolution file when you create that QR code and download it. So when they print it, it's got good resolution. It's not fuzzy and non-scannable.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with it. These literally that particular QR code on that particular T-shirt has been scanned thousands of times. You just got to put yourself out there, and sometimes people are going to look at you a little bit weird. My wife looks at me pretty weird. She's like, "You're looking pretty special today with that T-shirt on." I'm like, it's bringing in business. So how about that?
Drew, Bob Lell does recommend that perhaps you should have one tattooed on your head.
Who says I don't? Well, there you go, guys. Listen, we appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with this, and jabbing us a little bit with some of your humor. Appreciate it.
And hey, if you want access to that course, as I said, if you're not in our school group, I'm putting the link in right now. That's where we're going to provide it. I'm not going to do customer support emails and all sorts of stuff. So we'll make it available for everybody who's in our school group. If you're in there already, just great. We'll make an announcement when I get it added in there. If you're not in there, join if you want access. Easy as that.
That's a good point, Greg. Yeah, that is a dynamic QR code. So the difference, we're not going to do a big QR code lesson, but a dynamic QR code allows you to, switch out the destination that when somebody scans the QR code, if you're just done with that particular bot, you want to switch it to a website, or you want to switch it to a PDF, or you want to switch it to a lead bubble, or you want to switch it to whatever your next thing is, then use a dynamic QR code. I use Pixel 2, pxl.to. That platform is great. You could probably find long-term deals on AppSumo for something like that. But for the time being, I've had that particular QR code for about a year now, and it's just been scanned thousands upon thousands of times. Good point, Greg. I appreciate you mentioning that.
Cool. All right, man. Well, listen, we will take that prompt that we used today in Claude and put that in a Google Doc and add it to the thread where the replay is in the community, in the group. So if you need it, you can access it there. Just give us a few to get that done. But that's it. Great job, Drew. That's a phenomenal idea. Hopefully that helps everybody just expand their mind a little bit. I'm like, what is possible? Like, we're really interested to see what twists that you can add to it, what changes and edits and things that unique things that you will add to this idea. And please share it. Like, if you're in the community, we love when people share those direct chatbot links to kind of show and demonstrate what they've built. For some reason, some people are don't like to share things they've created or think that someone's going to steal their idea, but that's just nonsense.
Yeah. We encourage you, like, make mistakes. Some of the best creations of the world come from making mistakes and collaborative efforts. Like, we'll see some stuff and it sparks an idea and we run with it, and it's very, very, very sellable, right? So, engage. If you have questions about this, Kim, by the way, for those of you who need onboarding, you want to learn a little bit more about the platform, we highly encourage you to connect with Kim. Kim is absolutely delightful, an amazing person that's doing some really fun stuff with the bots. She knows the platform quite well. So we encourage you to jump on and connect with Kim. For those of you who have connected with her, let us know what that experience has been. I'll probably be reaching out to each one of you to see how the experience has been. I think Kim is really, really an amazing member of our team. So if you're not familiar with the platform and you want to kind of get up to speed and maybe walk around, something like that, the best thing to do is connect for an onboarding session with Kim and treat her well. Please show up if you schedule your event. Be respectful. It's not nothing more frustrating, and we understand things come up, and this isn't to lambaste anybody or lambaste, however you say the word. Just show up, right? And if you can't show up, just cancel it, because we're here for you. We want you guys to be using the platform and doing some interesting things. Kim is a great educator and teacher, and she's walking people through and handling some problems, quite frankly, that people have been experiencing. Not necessarily problems, but some challenges and some hurdles, making a couple of adjustments. Then all of a sudden, their creations, their bots are working quite well. So if you happen to have challenges and problems, we don't want that to be a hurdle. Get on the call. Let us know. Reach out. And maybe there's a small tweak that just needs to happen in the prompt or one of the settings or something like that, and we can help decrease some of that frustration that you might have. That's what we're here for. We want you guys to be using the platform, and quite frankly, we want you making money from this. If you do that, then we want to feature you guys. We want to talk about you. We want to brag upon you and the cool stuff that you're making. And then lastly, my last question before we wrap things up. I know this is kind of self-indulging, but if you guys like this session, this Build a Bot session, let us know. We certainly don't want to continue to do these if they're not valuable to you, if you're not learning from it, if it's not educational, entertaining. We're trying to dial this in and come up with some cool stuff that allows you to go out there and use the platform and make a bunch of money for yourselves. So let us know that. You don't have to answer right away, but if you do, awesome. If it's not something and it's not for you, that's okay too. We want to know that as well.
Cool. Thanks, Drew. Great job. Hey, if anybody does want to book a call with Kim for, technical support or ask questions, I did put that link into the chat here, and I'll do it again. There you go. You can click on that link and find a time on Kim's calendar, and she'll connect with you for 30 minutes, and you can ask all the questions you want. So thanks, Drew. Great job, man. I love the whole concept of what you just laid out, and hopefully some of you will take action and go build one for yourself. Until next week, we'll see you guys later.